Hi, my name is Shaquaria, and today I'll be teaching you how to solve a piecewise function. In doing so, you will also be learned how to graph it, find the domain, the range, the end behavior, the discontinuity, asymptote, or symmetry. So, first off, when doing a piecewise function, you want to look at the equations that you are given, and you want to break it down step by step. So this is what we're going to do. So at first, we're going to start with when x is less than or greater or equal to -2, we're going to plug in x to the 4th power. So first off, I'm going to plug in -2. So at -2, we're going to plug in x to the 4th power. So -2 to the 4th power will be 16. It will be positive 16. So at -2, we're going to go up, and we're going to draw a dot, and it's going to be a closed circle because this is saying that it can be -2, and we're going to draw a line that goes to infinity. So we already did the first part. Now we're going to do the second part. Now this is saying at 3, between -2 and 3, it's going to be 3. Okay, let me just show you that. So we're going to go to -2, and we're going to go all the way up to 3. And we're going to draw an open circle. Now the reason for that is because it cannot be 2. So, and then we're going to draw a line all the way to 3. And we're also going to draw another open circle because it cannot be 3. So at 3, between -2 and 3, it's going to stay on this line. So already this step is done. Now what this is saying, when anything is greater than or equal to 3, we're going to replace x into the equation. So I'm going to substitute x for 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3 squared is 9, times 2 is 18, and 6 plus 18 is 24. So I'm going to go to 3, and I'm going to go all the way up, and I'm going to draw a closed circle because it can be 3. And I'm going to draw a line up. Now, if it's anything bigger than 10 and you don't have a big enough graph for it to plot all the lines or the points, then you could just leave it at, you could just substitute it for 1 and just draw a line because you don't have to show all the points. And already part 3 is done. And this is how your graph should look. Okay, now we get to part 2, and we're going to find, the first thing we're going to find is a domain. Now when you try to find a domain, you're looking from bottom to top. Okay, so as you can see, there is nothing in the negative side. So that means if you plug in any number, you're just going to be a positive number. So the domain will be from -infinity to infinity. This is saying that you could plug in all real numbers, and these are all real numbers. Okay, the second thing you're going to look for is the range. Now the range is saying you're going to look from left to right. From left to right. So right here it's going to be, the range is going to be from 3 to infinity, because there's really nothing that's on the negative side, and when it is, it's going to go to a positive number. So we're just going to put 3 to infinity. Now the next thing we're going to look for is the end behavior. Now this is saying if you plug whatever number you plug in for negative, what is your output going to be? And whatever you plug in for a positive, what's your output going to be? So as you can see, when you plug in a negative number, you're going to get a positive number. And then when you plug in a positive number, you're going to get another positive number. So as you can see on your graph, it's going to be when x goes to positive or negative infinity, f of x is going to go to infinity. It's been proven. When you plug in a negative number, you're going to go positive. And then when you plug in a positive number, you're also going to go positive. So on the negative side, you're going to go positive, and on the positive side, you're going to go positive. Okay, Now, the next thing I'm going to also show you is the discontinuity. Now, this is just saying, is there any jumps at any numbers that's on a graph? And as you can see, there's a jump at -2 because one time it starts at 3 and then it starts up again at 6. So I'm just going to label this so you can also know, and it's good for your teachers so they know that what you're trying to say or what plot this is so they don't be looking confused. So I'm just going to label this. Okay, so there's a jump at -2 because one time it starts in, it doesn't start back up again at 16. So right now we're going to put jump at -2. Now there's also another jump, and it's at 3 because it starts at 3 and then it starts back up again at 24. So right here is a jump. It's a long gap. So we're going to put x to the third. X equals 3. Okay, asymptote. This is basically saying if you plug in any number, is it going to be undefined or all that? And that's not the case. So, is there any asymptotes? It's going to be no. And is it a line symmetry? And it's also going to be no, because this is basically saying if you can cut this function in half, well, the lines on a graph, and is it going to be symmetric to the other side? And as you can see, it's not, because they all have different points. So for symmetry, we're going to put no. And you're all done. And this is how your graph is going to look. Now, like I said, solving a piecewise function is not easy at all because there's a lot of steps to it, and you really do have to break it down. But the easiest thing to do is take it step by step by step, and make sure you go over it as many times as you can to make sure you got it right.